High-level representatives, heads of state and government met in Quito, Ecuador, to accept a new urban agenda. According to an analysis, the growth of the population by the year 2050 will bring with it different problems in large cities. Actions on these situations are far from solving the problems, only taking into account the main points in urban development will be achieved. At conferences of the United Nations in Istanbul, Turkey, and Vancouver, Canada, improvements in the quality of life of millions of people were observed. The new urban agenda will guide city planning towards a single objective: sustainable development. Examples, such as the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, are taken into account to observe significant points achieved. This also takes note of the World Humanitarian Summit, which did not produce an agreed solution. The new agenda promotes citizen participation to be part of an advance and achieve the desired results starting from the 2030 Agenda. Culture and cultural diversity will also be taken into account. Since according to the urban agenda, these are important aspects for economic growth when used responsibly. New common ideal. The common objective is to create a society with equality now, so that future generations can create an ideal just society. The new urban agenda considers the principles of the Letter of Agreements of the United Nations to achieve better cities and human settlements. We imagine cities and human foundations that fulfill their social function, and that each element has its right to an adequate standard of living without discrimination and with the necessary goods. Promote social and intergenerational interaction and civic collaboration with cultural and political participations. They achieve gender equality, empower women and girls, guaranteeing access to decent work of equal value for all. They face the challenges and generate economic growth, taking out the best fruits of an efficient urbanization transformation. They maintain an integrated territorial balance at all levels in urban development. They promote age-based and gender-based planning, accessible to all, as well as efficient transportation systems with economic opportunities. They take into account disaster risks, vulnerability, and increase resilience to natural, anthropogenic, and climate change hazards. Promotes the concentration of ecosystems, natural habitats, and biological diversity, minimizing their environmental impact. The main aspect that is taken into account is to end poverty and any form of discrimination. And commit the current urbanization to the opportunity of a new urban agenda, which will also take political action. Commitment to work for a change of urban paradigm towards the adoption of a new urban agenda that guide how to plan, start, develop, administer, and manage cities for the prosperity of all. Recognize the leading role of national governments as well as the important contributions of subnational and local governments. Adopt sustainable territorial urban development approaches, the formulation of strategies and the adoption of measures at all levels. The elaboration and implementation of urban policies. Strengthening urban governance, reviving planning and support for funding frameworks and instruments. Call to action. The new urban agenda will have a universal impact, so that everyone can take action on different goals. Without leaving out the capacities that each environment can generate, taking greater attention to this situation. Principles of the Rio Declaration on the Environment were reaffirmed. An important part of this process is facing all kinds of discrimination in society, and have action on national, subnational and local governments to further strengthen the objective. The new urban agenda generates a global commitment to make sustainable development a reality.